One of the questions that I get asked is, how do fast chargers work and what do they do? And how do I find one? So we're going to kind of go through some of those things today about fast chargers and when you need them, why you need them, and how to find them. And I'm going to do my best to answer those questions and any other questions you post down below. One of the things that people who do not have EVs are not aware of the number of fast charging stations that are out there. They're all over the place, and you could be driving by them, and if you're not looking for them, not aware of them, you won't see them. Not hard to find. It just takes an app, and there's a lot of different apps out there for different companies. There's Electrify America, there's EVgo, there's a bunch of them out there. There's Tesla, of course. And each of those companies has an app, and that app will locate the stations near you or wherever you plan to go. And there's two very different types that you need to know and understand. There's the Tesla chargers, which have a connector that's called the NACS connector, and then there are stations that have the CCS1 connector, which is the connector that all other cars have. Everything is switching over to the NACS, and so that will become something that will be a non-issue as we move forward, but right now it's important that you understand those two different types, the distinction between the two. You can easily find fast chargers on Google Maps, Apple Maps, Waze, and certainly on the navigation system in your car. And those apps will also tell you the current status of the station, whether they are busy or not, whether there's dispensers that are available and open, or whether there's a dispenser that's broken. You know all of that information from the app before you head out. Today I'm going to take a little road trip and show you a local Electrify America station that just recently opened this year. It is a station that is rarely very busy because it's brand new. But if it is, when we get there, if there's people waiting, which I don't believe there would be, but if there is somebody waiting, I'm going to let them go because I don't need to charge at a fast charging station. I can charge in my garage here close by my home, and I don't want to take up a spot and delay somebody else from or making somebody else wait to charge. This is a community. When you get an EV, it becomes a community, and we all are anxious to make it a good experience for everybody else. And I encourage you to not only be courteous and don't spend longer time occupying the spot than you need to, but also to be willing to help other people. If you understand how it works and somebody is clearly confused about what to do, that you step up and offer your help to them. I think it's just good for moving the whole EV industry forward, that everybody has a good experience. So we're going to get on the road here, and I'm going to show you what it's like to go to a fast charger and kind of explain some things while the car is charging. So stick with me, join me, and let's jump in and go. Thanks. So we're at the charging station, so let's go ahead and plug in, show you what it's like. So I plugged in and now I'm charging, and I started at 14%, and right now I'm up to 18%, and I've been here at the charging station for a couple of minutes. With this car, I'm fortunate that it has what they call plug and charge. It came with that. So it's registered with Electrify America, so I don't have to do any payment process with the dispenser, with the Electrify America. I basically just plug the car in, and the Electrify America knows my car based on a handshake it makes with their system and automatically takes care of the billing. There's no swiping credit cards. It really just couldn't be any easier. And the good news is that coming really soon is going to be that capability on all cars. Just recently, the government or a government agency approved a standard that will be for all U.S. cars and all U.S. Suppliers of charging stations, that they'll all be plug and charge. So your car will be, you won't have to go through jumping through hoops of pulling out apps in a hard way. It'll just be very simple. It's just going to be plug it in and it'll do its thing, and then you drive away and the billing is all handled behind the scenes. So it really couldn't get much easier. Right now, I have to say it's a little bit complicated for some people, because if they don't have plug and charge, then they have to swipe their credit cards or use the Electrify America app or whatever service you're using. And I think it makes it unnecessarily difficult. It's not really too much different than a gas station. You just plug in your car and make the payment and then fill it up. The nice thing about doing this is it's time to kick back and just kind of relax. Or there's a grocery store right here. I can go in and pick up some items if I need it. All of this, the information about the status of the charge is available on my telephone, also on my Apple Watch. So when I go into the store, I know exactly how my charging session is going. I'm finding out whether it's done or close to done, so I can make a plan to get back here. It's you don't want to be a problem for other people by leaving your car and when it's done charging and not moving it. It is a lot of the charging companies like Electrify America now are putting in idle fees. If you do that, you're going to get hit with some extra costs. But you don't want to do that because there could be people waiting. When you're charging on a fast charger, you're getting DC voltage coming directly into your car, not AC like you do with your home charger. So the voltage that's coming from this dispenser right here is direct current, and it's capable of putting out at these chargers up to 350 kilowatts. And that is a difference from your home, which you're getting 9 kilowatts with a 240 volt installation. You're getting 9 kilowatts versus up to 350 here. I've never seen 350. Typically, I'm feeling really good if I get over 200, but often it's around 150. And that will vary according to the temperature, the outside temperature, the temperature of your motor, whether you preconditioned your car. And preconditioning is another thing I'll talk about later, but it's part of having an electric car is preparing it for a charge when you're doing fast charging. Not necessarily when you're doing home charging, but if you're doing fast charging, it preps the battery so it can accept current at a faster rate. So there's several factors in that. And one of the things that I enjoy about this, and I know some people won't, but I do, it made me kind of slow down, where I come in here and I kind of get caught up on things. Hey, I can even record videos while I'm sitting here. There's a time where you just kind of get to catch up on your emails or whatever it happens to be, or take a break and get something in the store. It hasn't been a burden for me, and I don't think it is for most people. You get used to it really fast. The thing I don't like, and nobody likes, is waiting in line. So don't be one of those people that leaves your car and walks away and doesn't come back when it's done charging. Currently getting 113 kilowatts into my car, and that equates to about 8 miles per minute. So that every minute I sit here, I'm adding 8 more miles to my range until my next stop. The other thing about charging your car is how high do you charge it at? And virtually all the manufacturers recommend 80% max for your daily driving. There isn't any reason to charge it higher than that. The reason for that is because once it gets up above 80%, it slows way down. It just can't take the current at a higher charge level. So if you were to charge, let's say, from 20% up to 80%, you would do that in X number of minutes. And if you went from 80% to 100%, you'd do it in twice the time it took you to get from 20 to 80. So there's no reason. It's not like you fill up a gas tank. The only time I ever charge to 100% is if I'm going to go out and go on a road trip. If I'm heading out from home and I want my car fully charged when I leave, that's great. That's what I do. When I get to the next charging station, I always try to calculate, make sure that I'm not putting in more than I need to get to the charging stop that follows. So there's some things to learn with this, but it's really interesting and I think challenging. And if you like challenges and you're not feeling like you're past taking on some challenges, then I think you can enjoy this. I certainly do. I'm 77 years old and I don't feel too old, and I doubt you're too old either. So it just takes getting used to something new, and it's kind of exciting. It's part of being a pioneer, I guess, that you're getting into something that is the future, without any doubt. Okay, I've been here for about 10 minutes now, and I'm now sitting at 38% of my charge. 38% battery level right now. It just jumped in 39%. And I've added about 93 miles to the car in about 10 minutes, so that's pretty good. This is actually a slower charging session. I'm only getting 118 kilowatts into the car right now, and there's a message that's saying that it's being limited by this station. So there's something, maybe it's the number of cars that are here right now at this charging station. There's 6 charging posts here, and 3 or 4 of them are in use, so it's sharing the power with the other cars here. Typically, like I said, 150 kilowatts to 200 kilowatts is what I will get while charging. I did not precondition the car before I left, so that could be a lot of the reason. I only was 4 miles away, so didn't have a chance to really precondition, but preconditioning the car will definitely help extend the range, and that's really just pushing a button. I'm going to let you take a look at my screen right here, just so you can kind of see what I'm looking at. So right there, this is the charging. Let me go down here. I'm sorry, get the better picture there. You're looking at my screen right there that shows what's going on. It says I have 25 minutes remaining, and that's if I charge up to 80%, which I'm not going to do. I'm just doing kind of a short charging station or session here in order to show kind of how this all works for you. So it's been charging now for 16 minutes, and I'm currently getting 113 kilowatts into my car, and that equates to about 8 miles per minute. So that every minute I sit here, I'm adding 8 more miles to my range. Another advantage or thing that I enjoy about going to a charging station is everybody here is interested in electric cars, obviously. And it's fun to talk to people. People have some time when they're sitting here, and I've had a lot of really good conversations with people about their experience with electric cars. I always learn something new, and hopefully they learn something new from me. But it makes the whole experience even more fun because you have something in common with other people. One of the downsides with DC fast charging has been the infrastructure. It hasn't been perfect by any stretch. 2 years ago when I got my car, it was a lot different than it is now. It has gotten so much better, and it's getting better every day. But in the beginning, there was a lot of broken down chargers, you know, where they weren't being maintained, and you'd pull into a charging station and maybe 2 of the 4 units weren't working. I mean, that was pretty common. It's become a lot less common now, and it is really nice now to have brand new chargers like they have here at this station. A lot of the chargers that I was using 2 years ago are at different places, or now have all been replaced with brand new units. So they're doing a lot to get the system working, and it has gotten a lot better, and it's only going to get better from here. It's good enough now that you can road trip just about any place in the country, in the US, without having a problem. One thing, when I first started charging, I pulled into some of the charging stations, the fast charging stations, and they had 2 cables hanging off them, and I was totally confused. I didn't know why there was 2 cables. I thought maybe two different cars could share the unit, and I learned real quick that that's not the case. Unless they have 2 screens on the dispenser, if they have 2 cables, the second cable is either for a different type of connector, like a NACS or CHAdeMO or a CCS1, or a lot of times they'll have 2 CCS1 cables connected to that dispenser, and the reason is because if one cable fails, the other one may work. So it's kind of a backup system that some of the chargers have on them. I see it less and less now than it was a year ago or 2 years ago, but it's not uncommon, and if you find one of those, it's got 1 screen, 2 cables, only 1 car can charge on that dispenser. The other thing that I have run into a couple of times is where I just couldn't get the dispenser to work, and I found that by unplugging it and plugging it back in again, that it will start sometimes, and that will take care of it. That sort of problem isn't happening. It's rarely happening now, not like it did 2 years ago. The other thing, on one occasion I called Electrify America because I was having troubles with the charger, and they were very good on their service. They got on the phone, helped me right away. They were actually able to reboot the charger or dispenser from their location remotely, and it did really well. It fixed the problem, and I was on my way. So if you have a problem with the charger, don't hesitate to call. There's a number on all of the chargers here, a telephone number you can call somebody. So I'm right now at 68%. I'm going to charge her to 70%. I've been here, it'll be 30 minutes by the time I finish charging here. I've added about 206 miles to my car in that 30 minutes. The charging speed is slowing way down now as it gets higher, so I don't want to sit here much longer. But anyway, I hope that you found this video informative, and I hope that you'll press the like button if you liked it, and I hope that you will subscribe if you want to see more. I've got a whole bunch of videos that I'm planning to do on a lot of different things. So for life after 70, hey, it's a good life. Thanks for joining me. Bye. So you can see these units over here. These are the converters. They take the high voltage coming in to the charging stations here, and then it drops that voltage down to the right level to the dispensers that go to the cars over here. There's the transformer right there that the power company puts in, and these are the high voltage cabinets that contain all the mechanics for the charging dispensers over here. So these are just basically dispensers. They just feed the current to the cars, and this is what converts it over here.